Hello everyone, long time no see. Welcome back. I hope everyone can hear me okay and things are coming through nice and clear. It's been a while since we've done a live stream, but we're back. Hello everyone, and we are back on doing question time. If you don't know what question time is, it's a chance for you to ask me any question you like, be it about games development, Unreal, whatever you want. I don't really mind. You can ask whatever you like within this hour or so that we're doing this for. If you're a patron, you get ask your question ahead of time via the Discord channel, question time Q jump. I'll try and answer some from there. Obviously, we've missed a few weeks here because of all these sorts of reasons. So I'll try and answer some there. We may not see them all, but we'll try our best. But hopefully everyone's doing okay. And so with all the things that's going on, hopefully you haven't missed too much of the content and happy with where it's going. We've got lots of cool stuff coming on the way. It's just a matter of now, I think the last week, it's been a matter of just getting back up to getting up to speed, trying to catch up with things that I missed, sessions I had to postpone or reschedule, videos I forgot I haven't finished editing or recording. It's just a matter of going back over those and trying to catch back up to various jobs. Thank you for joining us live here today. Let's go and answer some questions. By the way, a lot's happened since I've been gone, like in the games world. I think since our last question time, Microsoft bought Activision, Sony and Bungie, obviously, NFTs everywhere. Pain in the ass thing. Yeah, loads of stuff's happening. Like January's kind of been quite an insane month for gaming news. Your accent sounds British. That's because I am British. I'm from England. Okay, so let's jump into here. Reverse Gutenberg Press. How to get motivated and stay motivated. Best tricks. Best tricks and tips. Get motivated. So, everyone's different. So I'll tell you what I'm like. I love making games. I love using Unreal. I love making anything I can make in Unreal. If I'm not doing it because of a job, I'm doing it because of fun. I want to test my skills and so forth. To stay motivated on something, you want to make sure you're picking something that is realistically possible for you to achieve first of all in the first place, because a lot of people will pick up projects that are going to be very, very difficult, very, very long. They don't have the experience to pull them off and get demotivated, and that's because they've chosen something too big, too large. So pick something that is achievable, something that is small. I guarantee you, like, your first 5 games won't make any money whatsoever. No, that's just the nature of the beast. But they're all going to be learning experiences and a chance for you to stretch yourself a little bit. But don't jump into the deep end. Start with the shallow waters and test yourself out first. And pick something that you feel like you can achieve. I'm more motivated when I achieve my goals than I am when I don't achieve them. So make sure you pick something you think you can achieve. But yeah. Hey Ryan, my man. Hope your family well and buddy. Yes, they're okay. If you don't know, long story short, if you don't know what's been happening in the past 6 weeks or so, my mum got diagnosed with cancer just before Christmas, and she had to go have surgery on Christmas Eve, and then she had to go rush to the hospital on New Year's Eve, and the rest of it, and then a couple of weeks ago back, my wife got COVID, and then my 2 children got COVID. So I was looking after them all whilst I was sleeping on the couch, trying to be isolated. It's been a mad old few months, but my wife is better now. Was a bit scary, but she's a lot better now. The kids are fine. They were ill for a day. The kids aren't affected too much about it. So yeah, it has been a mental 6 weeks. This is why I haven't been on live recently. I have been working where I can, but it's been a case of like too exhausted to do a long stream thing like this. Yeah. Stickman, why is the broadcast so little watched? I wish it was watched more. I'm Turkish. Your videos are very beautiful. Ah, thank you. I wish they were. I wish they were too. But nonetheless, I just want to help people out. So if people want to turn up and have questions, they can have questions. Sweet. No problem. Got a few other ideas to do other live streams and things like that in the future. Maybe it'd be more interesting for people. Don't know. Yeah. Mr. Tree Guy, how would you make it so you can press up, down, left, right, and 8 at the exact same time? It would open something like a widget. That you can press up, down, left, right, and 8. You'll push all 4 buttons and then the 8 key as well. Good question. So normally, well, obviously that's out of the norm. Most of the time you're just doing 2 buttons at most. Usually with modifiers, and modifiers, that's why they're built into the project settings here. So there you go. There it is. That's why you have these modifiers at the end. So most of the time you're using this with a modifier. But obviously you're doing, if you want to do 4 keys that are not modifier keys as listed here, then you've got a bit more work ahead of you. So to do like this with non-modifier keys, so let's say we push 1 and 2 together at the same time, for example, you normally would do something like this, where you push 1 and press would then open gate. Say gate. Hold on. Wait, maybe multi-gate. Multi-gate? No. Just gate. So gate, this would open. And then 2 would enter it. So push 1, 2 almost at the same time, and that would do that. There's something similar to that. But yeah, that's generally how you do that. But to get all 4 in there, you're looking at a very complicated setup for this. I mean, if you're having to push all 4 of those keys and 8 at the same time, I would seriously reconsider your game controls and inputs, because that seems poor. That seems just bad design. I can't think of any reason why you'd want to do that. But if you want to give more information about why you'd want to do that, let us know. But generally, don't know. I mean, you can get what keys are being held down, I guess. I have to think about that, see if there's a way of doing it better. Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to do 4, and that makes no sense to me personally. Sorry. Stickman, are you thinking of passing Unreal Engine 5? I frankly like it. I do like it. It's just not finished. That's the only reason why I haven't done videos in it yet. Barring like a couple of intro ones we've done. That won't be the case forever. We'll be switching over to Unreal 5 soon. The thing with Unreal 5, because it is still in development, there are still bugs in it. It can still crash. Some plugins and some features still don't work or have features missing. Whereas in Unreal, if you do videos in Unreal 4, pretty much everything you do in Unreal 4 will work in Unreal 5. Like, there's no problem with it. So, but speaking of that, I'm doing a live classes starting next Thursday. There's 6 weeks of them, 1 per week, and you sign up and to a live class, and it's like an actual structured class where we are live. I'll be live with you. We go through. I've got some PowerPoint stuff, some tasks for you, homework, and then assessment right at the end to test your skills. So it's a whole thing where you can really dive deep in learning. And we're doing AI in Unreal Engine 5 starting from next Thursday. So if you want to sign up for that, look in the community tab on my channel, or go to my Patreon page or my Facebook page to find links on how to sign up. It's free to sign up for everyone, so there's no problem. Everyone can sign up for it completely free of charge for the whole access to the whole entire thing. So if I do miss your, by the way, if I do miss your questions, please just put them in again. I'll try and find them. But yeah. About those live classes, the downloadable resources will be available by GitHub or some other site. Yeah, it'll be something like that. It'll be I don't think it'll be GitHub. It'll probably be just like a link that you can download from like Google Drive or OneDrive or something like that. It won't be much on it. It's just gonna have the resources that you need for the zombies, because there'll be a zombie game in it, so you have to have zombie models and animations. Yeah. Chris is asking, hey Ryan, in your level traveling vid it works, but if I go to the door it loads the next level, but as soon as I go back through it, tell me you fail to load package exiting. Go to the door, it loads the next level. As soon as I go back through, there's me a failed load package exiting. Check your spellings. It sounds like you've got a misspelled URL path there, or you're searching for a player start that doesn't exist, or it's hard to know without seeing the code for that one in that case. Yeah. Hey Ryan, can you make it so that when a player collides with something, it launches them back in multiplayer? Thanks, it would help a ton. So you should be able to just do a launch character and it should be fine. A launch character will work just as fine with multiplayer. I know that for a fact because in Fireteam, which by the way, if you're a Diamond or Platinum member, you've got access to a key where you can download the game and help me test it. We'll be setting up test times and test dates to beta test the multiplayer of that. And then opening up to more patrons as we go. Before full release later this month. So if you don't know what Fireteam is, it's an online free-to-play deathmatch game. Completely free, no microtransactions, no adverts, no store. It's completely free. It's for you guys, and there'll be a video tutorials about how to make exactly that game. So how can you make your own Fireteam, basically. That'll be coming out soon after release. Hey Ryan, how would you do a... This is from Vlad. Hello Vlad. Hey Ryan, how would you do a movable block or tap A repeatedly to move a block in a direction? Okay, yeah, let's try doing that. So let's start this off. So this needs to be part of like it needs to be some kind of like animation state, or I don't know, what would you want to do? I mean, it's hard to do without any push animations because I don't have no animations here. But let's say we have a pushable block then. Just try and make something. Pushable block. And, oh, don't want to put it in yet. And we'll put in a cube. Up here. And hit compile and save. Now, we're not going to use physics for this. What we're going to do is make it so that when we go up to it, might need to be a bit bigger. Yeah, bigger. When we go up to it, we'll snap to it, and then we have to tap a button to make it move. Let's just make it 3 times as big. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yeah, okay, so we're going to try and push this. So if I go up to this and hit E to interact with it, whatever, we want to then tap E or tap another button to constantly push it. We'll try doing that. Okay, so first we need to interact with it. So on our player character, we need to have some sort of tick event where we're doing a line trace out all the time. Let's see if we can interact with something. Line trace by channel. And we want to get the player camera manager. And from there, we want to get the location. Get camera location. Pop that into start. Forward. Vector. Multiply this by how close you have to be to interact with it. So that'd be, I don't know, 200. And let's do 100 to make it a bit closer. And then we add that onto camera location. Oh. Okay, and then we want to interact with it. So and track what we're looking at. So in fact, actually, I'll just put this on the E key actually rather than tick. Do this. Okay. We'll do an E key. Make it do it once then. So when we do that, we're going to take out a put in a branch, and then take out the out hit. Break this. Get the actor from the hit result. Yeah, or component, whichever one you want to do. And we have to interact with this. So I'm going to make an interface to handle this. So we'll make a blueprint. Oh, blueprints interface. Interaction interface. And in here we'll make the interact with function. Compile. Okay. And we'll just do interact with message. So if you've ever seen me do interfaces before in other videos or live streams, you should be familiar with this sort of setup for like interaction stuff. So then on the pushable block, I just implement that interface. There it is. So now I have access to interact with on here, and what it's going to do is going to call it, and then this block here will define what that function does. So let's implement the event. There it is. And the thing we want to do is we want to tell the player character to disable movement, so we can't move away from the block without hitting the key first. So we're going to do get player controller, and we're going to do disable movement, not disable, sorry, ignore movement input, set ignore movement input, get the true, and hit compile and save. So if I go and push play onto this thing and push E, I can't move now. I can look, but I can't move. And what I'm going to do now is make it so that I have to spam the F button, for example, to push it. Okay. Or no, we could do E again. Actually, we could do spam E to push it. We'll try spamming E to push it. So E, first time you push E, you'll lock onto it. The next time you push E, will make it push it forwards. So in interact with here, we're going to do a do once, and to there, and on that will be a sequence. Not sequence. I'll do once. What do we do? Interact with. We'll just do a boolean on here is pushing, and set that to true. And then at the start of this, we'll use that as a part of the branch. And from there, if it's pushing is false, it'll do this. And if it's true, we'll make it so we spam it to move the block. So let's talk about how we're going to move this across. So I'm thinking of doing possibly... we can't just snap it. We want to move it, don't we? Slide it forwards. So we want to do a tick event to handle the animation of this a little bit. Again, if I had actual animations, this would be better. But we don't have that. So what I'm going to do in this case is have the tick event use a interp to to move it from one position to the next position. So, we need finterp 2. In fact, actually, I wanted the direction as well. That'd be quite good, wouldn't it? To make the block push from multiple directions, maybe? I don't know. Trying to think what would be best. So I think we're gonna have to make it push in multiple directions in this case, and then pop, maybe. So yeah, we could do it with physics, but we're trying to avoid it using physics because I'm guessing from Vlad's description he wants it to, like be like stuck, like in like an old school type movement, from his description. Okay, well, target is going to be a variable. Right, we'll work this out. So interp speed, then we'll put in as 1. Current, we'll put in. We'll make that a variable as well. Right, so target and current. So target, we want to push it in a direction. So we have to work out the direction we want to push it in first. So when we interact with this, I'm going to get the pushing direction. And I'm going to lock it to a cardinal direction. So pushable direction. And that'll be a vector. You need to know what vector it is. And I need to get the direction the player is in relation to the center of the block and go from there. So, oh Christ. Okay, so we're going to get player character, get their transform, and we have to do an inverse, no, sorry, a inverse transform, transform direction or location will be better. Wait, location. Transform the location of the inverse transform, sorry. Inverse transform location from world space to local space, that is. Oh no, because that's just going to get us the... Damn it. B. Sorry. Inverse transform location. That's not gonna be it. Need to find his location in relation to the block's location, so I can get the relative direction. You better if I could draw a diagram, but sorry, I'm reading chat whilst we're going through this. I've got to focus. Transform. Right, so I've got the location. I need to get the location in relation to their location. So if I get the actor location here. Won't get transform, we'll just get their location. Player. And we'll do nope. Need to work out the difference between this location and that location. So I want to do this location minus this vector. That should give me the location relative to the center of this block. I then want to get the direction between I want to normalize this. And that'll get me the direction between the two. I'll tell you what we'll do. Is we'll just take these and do direction between the two. Get unit direction from from that to that. Actually, no, we'll do it the other way around because then it'd be already going the right way. So from the player to the center of the block. So that's the right direction. I just need then to ideally lock that to a cardinal direction based upon the block. Because if I'm standing on like the top corner of the block and then push it, it's going to push it sort of diagonally. Which is not what I want. So if I take this and then do, can you round? No, you can't round these. If I break the vector, so these would be values between -1 and 1. And if I wanted to go into a cardinal direction based on like the relative location, I want to take each one of these and round them to a nearest integer. So if I do round for each one of these, I think we'll see. And then make vector again. Make vector. And then chuck that into there, chuck that into there, and chuck that into there. And then we'll push that into pushable direction. That should be the relative direction we're pushing it in based upon our character in like a relative cardinal direction. Okay, so by the way, I'm seeing chat messages. I will answer the next ones in a second. So when we are pushing it, I want to take the value I'm going to give it here, because when I pushed, every time I push the button to interact with it, we're going to do this and set the target. We're going to do plus float of, I don't know, 50, I don't know, and then set that back to target. That would then make this fire off and move it. So if I take the actor here and do I want to add relative relative location to the root. I want to add to this pushable direction. No, not add. I want to set relative location. That's it. And then this would be the pushable direction multiplied by that float. So multiplied by that float, and it goes into there. And then we'll plug that into there. I think that'll do it. Let's take a look. Ooh. Oh wait, yeah, I need to make sure it doesn't do that. I need to add this. So on begin play, I need to get its current location and then store that. Get actor location. Probably a better way of doing it, but I'm quite tired. Yeah. Start location. Okay, and then we add this to the start location. start location. Okay. So if I interact with it now, and then push E. Oh. Alright. Target current is current. Oh wait, I'm actually not changing the value. Don't do me. Yeah, we need to actually set this to be the current value. Set to current, and then push that with this. Oh. Oh, there you go. I need to make it a bit faster. And make my character move with it. Right, let's make it a bit faster. So let's say 2. And then I need to move my character with it as well. So we're going to get player character movement. And we're going to add movement input. Oh, no, can't do that. Set relative. No, sorry. Add relative location. The component. We want to add this amount. I think. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be right. Oh, yeah, that's not right. Right, okay. We'll test this out. I want to make this line trace very large. It's 1000. I can push them far away. So let's just test that working first. Okay, so I can push it far away like that. To move the player with it though, I need to set relative location. Set relative location to get player character. I want to move them in the direction, push-pull direction, multiplied by the current. Add their current location. Oh man, this is really ropey. I don't like this at all, but we're running out of time on this one, so I'll just put in get player character and get their starting point. I don't think we can attach, unless we can attach the actor to actor. Could we attach the actor to actor? Attach actor to actor. And parent actor self. Location rule will do keep relative. That should be fine. Not too sure if this will work. Oh. Gotta take this off. Oh. Okay, it does work. So not relative, I want world. That's why I was going wrong. So change that to keep world. Ooh, keep world, file, and then play. Okay, that works then. So if I push this and then push it again, I'm going along with it. Yeah. Oh, I'm pushing through the wall. It needs work, but that's a way of doing it. But as I say, you're better off with animation, like root motion that you can push it, a spline that you can push it along as well, timeline you can maybe push it around with. in hindsight, I'd probably do it with a spline, but that's only if it's a fixed direction. Like the benefit of this method, although I'd probably use physics if I was going to do it properly, is I could push this from any direction. I'm pushing it from this way, and I can go from this direction, and we can push this way. Yeah, so we could do stuff like that. But I'd probably do, if it's like a fixed animation on like a line, then do splines instead. Spline would be better. Right, sorry. Right, let's go into the... Is splines difficult? No, it's probably easier. But you're limited in what you can do. Yeah, so... Right, let's see what other questions we've got here. I did see one question from Alanto. Hi Ryan, I can't wrap my head around game state or game mode. Try and make a battle royale game, not sure where to store player data and zone status. Okay, so in multiplayer games you have, well, in all games you have a game state and game mode, but we mostly use them for multiplayer. The reason why we use them for multiplayer only is because the server is the only one that has access to the game mode, whereas every player has access to the game state. And the idea behind it is that the game mode is the thing that dictates when a match should start, when it should end, and overall tracking of the overarching game. Okay, so it's easy to take into context of, say, like, let's say capture the flag. Okay, so if you're playing capture the flag, the game mode is going to keep track of the team scores of the flag captures. The game state is going to keep track of the scores themselves. So we tend to put data that everyone needs to know on the game state, and then the game mode will then decide what to do with that data. So it's almost like that. The game mode, sorry, the game state is sort of like the library of where stuff is getting kept, and then the game mode is going to read from that library and determine what should happen. So, for example, in Fireteam, the game state is storing the scoreboards. So the reason why it does that is because everyone needs to know whose score has got what, so they can keep track of who's first, second, and so forth. But they don't need to know who's won. The game mode does. So the game mode then calculates who should win and then move on. And that's the general gist of splitting them up like that. Oh, sorry. You're overall just storing on there whose score is what. But it's useful because in multiplayer, every player has access to the game state. So it's a way for the game players to communicate to the game mode. Yeah, that's about it, really. So I tend to, and you also got player state as well. So in player state, where I saw player data, that's only the player needs to know and the server needs to know. The game state is stuff that you want to share with other people, like your scores and so forth. So it's game mode data that it should be available to everyone. And then the game mode is something, it has stuff that's only for the server to calculate. Mr. Tree Guy, would you ever make a playing your game series? Would honestly make would be nice for you to see other people's games made in Unreal Engine. Yeah. It was actually on my to-do list last year at some point, where I wanted it was going to be called Scratching the Itch, and I'd play games on itch.io. Oh, probably. Of your games or other people's games, and not just play them, but talk about them and what they should do to improve them, either from game design or even a technical perspective as well. Because a lot of the time when people are making games, something that is often missed is the game design aspect of it. They happily figure out the technical stuff and work to that solution. But when it comes to the actual design, the actual art of making a game fun, enjoyable, and long lasting, they kind of miss a beat on that a little bit. That's where you often see issues. Oh, so sorry for yawning. So that's what I was going to plan on doing. But work got really busy, and I just didn't have time to really do it. So it's something I do want to go into at some point. Maybe this year we'll have a chance to do it. But it'd be fun to do like a technical review of games and see what you could do to improve it. Was it poor performance in optimization wise? What could they do to improve that? Just general stuff like that. You have any clever tricks and try and figure out how they did it. It's quite cool as well to do. Marno Frank, hi. Can you create a tutorial in the future where you can make a vehicle to spawn in gameplay when I call it with a button like in Batman Arkham Knight or Cyberpunk 2077? So by spawning gameplay, do you mean like it'll drive in itself and then rather than just spawn out midair? You want to spawn it behind the player and it will appear. We could do something like that here. Right now. Obviously it won't be a car, it'll be a box, but it'll still, the functionality is the same. So let's make a blueprint class for a car. Has to be a pawn because it has to be controlled by AI. Hang on. Delete. In fact, I'll just give it character, but save it, cut some corners. Car character. Cutting some corners, don't worry about that. But this will be your car character, car pawn. So on here we have a mesh of a cube, and we'll just put that in there. Okay, this will be our and I'll just duplicate this and bring up. Boom, my one beautiful car. So we drag this in and it looks like this. Okay, there's our car. If I want that car to spawn in behind me and then move to my side, so what we're going to do is we need to make it have AI and have a nav mesh around here. So we go nav mesh bound volume. Cover the map with this thing. We should see this. Oh, probably. Oh, it's dimmy. Then we get the player character and make it so we hit a button, they're going to spawn our thing. So I'll do it with the F key. Let's do it like this. F. So when I push F to pay respects, my car will come up from behind me, or horse, or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to spawn it in first. So I'm going to do spawn actor. Sorry, so spawn AI from class will do. Oh no, we could do actor. That would be fine. Spawn actor from class, and the class is going to be the car, and the transform, we're going to split this open and have a look at the location here. The location is going to be behind the player, away from camera, off camera, back there. So we want to get the player forward, get player character, sorry. It is a player character, sorry. Get actor forward vector. And we'll do the inverse of this multiplied by an amount. So do minus, what am I doing? Multiplied by a float. And it'd be minus 5. No, let's do minus 500, yeah. And spawn that in to there. Oh, wait. Add it to the location first. So that's the offset that gets added to the player's location. So we can send it behind the player. Okay, so let's just see if this works first of all. So this should just spawn the character behind me. It won't move or nothing. So if I sit in here, push F, and he's there. Okay. We're then going to make him move to my side. Okay. So we're going to go to this thing here and do AI move to. Ooh. That'd be the pawn. Yeah. And the destination here, we're going to do get actor right vector. And I mean, this is very simplified. Normally you would do a check to see if there is space next to you for it to arrive. And then you decide which side of you it's going to come on. But we're going to skip that and just put it into the right vector. And we're going to do multiply that by a float. And do 300. Add it to our location. Ooh. And that should get us a side just to our right. I'll put that in there. So when I push play and I push F, it won't move. Oh wait, I know why. So this is a common thing that happens when you spawn in AI. You have to tell it to be spawned in with AI there. So now push play, push F. It arrives. Sweet. And again, the car, and off I go. And I do it again. Hey. Obviously, this is spawn another one in. You just want to destroy the old one. Okay. So when we're doing player character here, when I spawn this in, we're going to check to see on a sequence here if one of these already exists. So we need to promote this to a variable. Do it car. Plug that in. Plug that in. To there. And on the sequence here, we're going to check to see if the car variable is a valid variable pointer. And if it is, we're going to do destroy actor first. If not, then nothing will happen. And then it will just carry on doing spawn actor. So if I play my game, bang, 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 kill all the bad guys, hit F, call my car, hope it comes, get in the car, off it goes, boom, 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 and then get out of the car, and then push F again, and here it comes again, and the old one's gone. Okay, so it has come over. Now, I've done this with someone else before in a session, a private one-to-one session, and we did add an extra bit in to the point where if you was close enough to the car still, or a horse, in his case it was a horse, you're still physically close to the car when you try to spawn it again, it won't despawn and respawn next to you. What it will do is actually move from its current location to you. So we did a distance check first of all, but this is just going to destroy it and then put in a new one. But yeah, there you go. That'd be the one way doing it. Still count for the players there. Okay, so allow to one more question. Can a player change data instantly in the game state? For example, is it safe to store the kill count for the players in there? No. So the player's kill count should stay in the player state. Then it should tell the game state to fetch the player states of all of them to fetch the kill counts. So the player state is the one that stores it locally. The individual player kills. The game state would then tell the game state, hey, fetch all the kills, and the game state would then go around collecting all the kills up on the server side, updating it on there too. And because it's a replicated variable, which it should be, everyone should see that change update. So yeah, that's the way you have that. But yeah, player kills, individual player kills should be on the player state. That way the player shouldn't be able to change other people's kill counts. Bartus, hey Ryan, is it possible to achieve modular body part without master pose component? NPC disables each part collision, although I found a workaround by overriding master's physics asset. No. So if you want it to be multiple parts, you do need to use master pose component. If you are using it for collision's sake, then you need to make sure you are using the physics assets correctly. So that's the only way to do it. You have to change how the physics assets are combined together. But yeah, other than that, that's the only way to do it. That's the only way you realistically should do it. There's a few you can do. Aqua Studios, hi Ryan, I tried your solution, but what I'm trying to do is the player spins an object and whatever enemy it hits, it launches in multiplayer. Okay, so you're doing a physics-based launch. So physics is annoying because physics doesn't replicate greatly. What tends to happen is the players do the same thing and it renders their own physics simulations, and it will often outsync each other, so it doesn't really work. So to accomplish something like that, you'd have to do it. The safest way is to do a manual launch. So when it gets hit, you're not hitting it with a physics hit. You're doing, when you get hit, launch character. You use the launch character node, and that should work. Rather than, and then you work out the direction has to go based on where they're standing, rather than relying on physics to do it. If there's a chance you can avoid relying on physics in multiplayer, avoid it. It just adds a lot to the multiplayer stuff. Not VDB. Are you going to do a tutorial on Epic Online Services? Yes, I am. When? Don't know, but yes. Sooner rather than later, hopefully. I'm doing a project at the moment for a company that involves it, so probably after that. Joseph, most ability tutorials work by calling animation montage, then calling for the thing to happen at the right notifier in the montage. Is there a better way? I mean, it's the cleanest way, because you can put on there, you can put on custom notifiers, like doing damage on there. You can do procs and things like that on there. You can do quite a lot, really. So it's usually the cleanest way of doing it, for that reason. But what I typically would do is I'll have an ability that I spawn in, which is an actor. So it will spawn that in, and then it will tell the player, hey, play this animation, and it'll keep track of things like that. We use that for cooldown. Yeah. Vlad, all the question times on YouTube now. I think I still need to edit the couple of others. It's just finding time, having that time to do it. It's just been mad busy. Clug, how do you replicate a physical object that is tossed to the ground? Server does physics, then replicates movement. No. So what you typically do is it comes down to what's important to the game. So what you tend to do is, let's say grenade throwing. I'll tell you how we do it in Fireteam. So for grenade throwing in Fireteam, what happens is that when you push the button, your player plays an animation, and at a certain point in the animation, the server tells them to launch a grenade out. The player characters will launch their grenade out and they're given a velocity, so it's a speed and direction, and because they're given the same velocity as each other, the physics simulations should be near enough the same. But then we do damage simulations on the server side as well, so that they will be in charge of dealing damage, because you can only deal damage on a server. So that's how we tend to do that. Is you all your players will throw their own versions of the grenade, and then the grenade will then blow up on the server side at that particular location on the server's version. But they should be near enough the same, because they've been given the same variables at the start, which is their velocity, and which angle you're looking at, and all sorts. So all that should be the same as each other. Yeah, sure, Mr. Tree Guy. I'll check that out. So Mr. Tree Guy is saying he has a game on itch called Arcane's Watch in Alpha 2. It should be from you, and if you have time, of course, let me tell me how it is. Yeah, of course I will. Yeah, if I get time to do it this week, I'll try it. But yeah. Hello Ryan, I want to ask, is there a way to change the name of an object in World Outliner from the blueprint? From the blueprint, no. The World Outliner is an editor only thing. So no, you can't change something from the blueprint. You may be able to do editor functions, maybe. So there are editor utility widgets which you can do stuff like that, maybe. So if you go to editor utilities and go editor utility blueprint, and in here we'll do editor utility task, maybe. I don't know which one. We'll try this one, editor utility task. And this has extra blueprints related to the editor. So I don't know if there's one in here for that. Outliner, no. World, no. Name. So if there is, it'll be a utility widget thing. So this may be the wrong class to use. Editor, loading and saving. All the map stuff. Let's just loading maps. Checkout files. Level creation. Nope. Nope. Subsystems. Nope. I don't see anything in there. I'll chuck this. Maybe I'll get more. Editor, get selection, rename asset. That might be. Oh no, it's just renaming the asset. It won't rename it in the outliner. I don't think so. Actor label. Don't know. No. But by all means, have a look through this stuff. The editor utilities are ways to make your own little panels that you can do stuff with. You have the blueprints, and you also have widgets. So here's like a widget editor that you have, but this you can design. This is for like your own Windows stuff down here. So I put in like a button, for example, and yeah, do that. Blah blah blah. And then in here, oh man, I can't remember actually. Whereabouts is this kept? Run. There you go. And you put that in wherever you want, and you make the button. Oh, you can't see the button now, but you can make it so when you click that, it does something. And that would be what you do there. You put like a little. You put in the UI where you put in the text field. You can type it in, and it will rename it for you. I'm sure there must be a way of doing it. But yeah, have a look through the utility widgets. You may be in luck there. Vlad, how would you be able to do individual stats that add to a total, like music notes or jingos in Banjo-Kazooie? So you're storing that in they're just individual variables that are stored on the character's player controller, which are then, when you leave a level, are saved to the save file, and then loaded back in when they come into a level. So they're persistent. That's it. That's what they are. They're just variables. So you'll have like for example, Banjo-Kazooie, you'll have a variable on the game mode, maybe available, like available jiggies in TikTok Woods, say 5, and yeah, and you'll keep track of which ones you've collected and so things like that. There was a node called set actor label name, but not there anymore. Yeah, I saw that, but I don't know if that means the. Oh wait, no label. Oh yeah, that is there. We did see that. Yes. Yeah, there was in there then. Yeah, we did see it. Set actor label, and you can change that to there. But let's quickly make it. Let's see if we can do that quickly. I don't know what class it would be to do it. I'll just do editor utility actor. Oh, I'm not too sure what that do. Probably don't even need to do that actually. You probably just need to do it on the widget side of things actually. We'll put in a text field. So editable text. And then we'll wrap that with a horizontal box, put a button in. Like so. And fill that there. So when I hit this button, it should set the object. So with this button here, we do on clicked. I'm going to get selected actors or actor. Selected. I want to get the first one really. So because you can't change them all to be the same. So to get selected actors, we'll do a length. Oh no, we'll just do the first one. Get a copy of the first one. Set label. And the new actor label will be the text that's in the editable text here. Text. And we'll do get text. Put that in there. So that should be it. If I run this and put that in here. Oh. In here and select like this block here. And type it in there. Test. Name. And then hit this button. I think it worked. Yeah, it did. There you go. So you can name and things like that. And that can be an auto thing as well. Whatever you like. So yeah, that's how you do that. Sweet. Works. Basic clip. Are you planning to pass to UE5? If so, and when? When it's more stable. Probably closer to release of it. We are doing a live class though, starting from next week. On Thursday, if you want more details, head over to Facebook, Patreon, or YouTube community section to find the link and details. It's free to join. Please do sign up. But we will be soon. It's just when it gets closer to release, because it is a buggy thing. The problem with doing UE5 stuff is that if something doesn't work, it's hard to know for certain if it's you or the engine that doesn't work. But there's some basic stuff in it that was broken and it still crashes quite frequently. So there are things to consider like that. But yeah. But yeah, we will be doing the first things that will come out with UE5, like as in videos for the channel, will be specific stuff like meta sounds, as Tom was saying there, nanite and things like that. So we will be going into a lot more detail in those sort of things and try and make better documentation than what Epic have done so far. Okay, we're going to answer a couple more questions before we end up here. Basic clip. In your opinion, what is the most logical, easiest way to make branch storyline missions for multiple ending games? So all they are is just storing data in a save file, just storing a load of numbers, and then you pass the number. So if it was me, I'd store it as a string, and then I pass the string for each index. So if index string is A, it'll do this bit, B do this bit, and so forth and so forth. That's really all there is to it. It is complex because just for the nature of it, it is a complex thing to manage. So you have to be super organized with it. One video we'll be doing at some point in the future is showing how to load into the same level but with different layout stuff. So in games, for example, you'd have you load into a level and it'd be like normal, and then you'd leave that level and come back and it'd be on fire because something's happened in the story. Normally that's the same level. They usually have a layer in there that's doing something there, so they can do it like that. But we'll show how to do it. Oh, how to load it back into the same level but different, if that makes any sense. So that will be coming at some point in the future. Let's find one more question. How do you do multiple conditions for a branch? Okay, so we have a branch, your conditions. If you want to do multiple, use a combination of AND nodes, where both of these have to be true for this to be true. There's OR. So one of these have to be true, or both of them have to be true for this to be true. There's XOR. This means only if one of them's true, it'll be true. If both are true, then it will return false. It has to be exclusively one of them. There's also NOR. So it's neither. If neither of these are true, then this will be true. And you can use a combination of all these together to make the branch up. And as you can see with AND and OR, you can add more pins to this. So if you want to check if you have 3 things correct and they're all true, add them all together. And these can all daisy chain up like so to make branches that are more complex. But yeah, that's how you do that. Any plans to do a MOBA tutorial after the current JRPG one? Maybe, yeah. I'm always up for doing different types of games. So the next game type coming out is survival game. So when you're ditched on an island, you got to collect resources and build a camp up and stay alive. We're doing that. That first episode comes out this week for Patreons, I think, or maybe next week. They'll get that first episode then. But that's the next sort of game. It's not going to be it won't be as big or as long as the JRPG one, but that'll be there. And obviously there's Fireteam coming as well. But I'm up for doing anything really that people suggest. I don't really mind. Let's see what people do. Be good to. I'm always eager to try making games that I haven't made before. I like the challenge of trying to solve problems that I haven't thought about before. Yeah. Ian, Fireteam Project. Are you taking recent alumni, not just current students? It would be nice to take current students, but I would take recent ones too. Really, if anyone like, it'd be good to contribute with. To work alongside education faculties and all work together to solve things like this. It'd be really good. Just because that's the nature of what I want to try and give back to people. So at the moment I've got a college group. I've got a couple of college groups working on multiplayer maps for the game. So their members of staff are working on that. I've got also another college group who are younger, and they're making like trying to make some icons for the modes. But happy to talk to any educators out there and any students that want to be involved with Fireteam. To get your tutors to email me, and we can arrange a class discussion and talk about what kind of live projects we can give you to work on towards Fireteam. Yeah. Did the Retro Remake get chosen recently? It has been chosen. So, Retro Remake this year, it has been a tough one to pick, but there's reasons why I've picked the one I've picked, which I'll go over. So, the Retro Remake for this year is going to be Bomberman. And the reason why I wanted to do Bomberman is I wanted to do something that is smaller in scope, so we can actually get a complete game by the end of the year. Something we could do in multiplayer as well, so we could play online with each other and test it out like that. And also it opens up the doors for crazy customization. So much like how I did Super Smash TV, and I did my own custom stuff to that, I would like to do more of that sort of thing. So not just remake it like for like. I would like to add my own little spin on it. And I feel like Bomberman has more opportunity to allow for those sorts of things. So we'll be doing Bomberman for a Retro Remake, and we'll be starting this Saturday, hopefully. But yeah, it should be quite fun to do. Quite flashy because lots of explosions. I'm at the moment in a toss-up to either try and do it in Unreal 5 or keep it in Unreal 4. Just because it'd be cool to do it with Chaos Engine. We'll see. But yeah, that would be quite good. Okay, that will do for tonight. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me on this question time. If you haven't had your question answered, so sorry. But But I'll try and answer your questions next week. Apologies to those in the Discord chat if I didn't answer your question in time for today. We'll be tackling those next time, I swear. It's just been a crazy few months, a few weeks. So we're going for that. Mr. Tree Guy, did you read my comment? Yes, I did. All good. But yeah, excellent. Thank you very much, everyone. Don't forget to check out the live class is starting next week. It starts on a new website called Lighthall. You can find a link with all information. It is free to sign up. There is no limit to the class size. Anyone can join. And so if you join, we're covering how to do basics of AI and making a zombie game, like horde mode style zombie game in Unreal Engine 5. You'll be given some starter project stuff to work with. And obviously you can use your own animations and models if you wish, but that's up to you. But do check it out, okay? Lots of new stuff coming as well. Keep an eye on the channel for more series starting soon. Older series we will be going back to and finishing. As I said at the start of the video, live stream rather. The past few weeks have been a lot of just trying to catch up with stuff. So getting the time to wrap up those series, I haven't had the chance to yet, but they will be getting wrapped up soon. So the online multiplayer and the RTS series in particular we'll be going back to soon, I promise, to wrap up those ones because they're near the end. So we're going to wrap them up and push those out. But there are new ones coming out as well, which are quite cool. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great evening, and I'll see you Saturday for our retro remake in Bomberman. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.